Folks, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Farmington Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I'd like to introduce the Zoning Board of Appeals members. To my left is Jody Bennix, and to my right is Kelly Cochran, and I'm Tom York. Tom Lay is absent, and we have one vacant spot. We have two emergency, I'm going to introduce the town staff. Ron's not here, but Paula Ruthven, the code officer, is here. Dan DePure is here for the standing in for Ron. Sort of. Also code officer, building inspector, and then Carol Marvel for the clerk of the board. We have two emergency exits, one that you guys came into and one to your right. Hopefully we don't need to use those. This meeting will be conducted according to the rules of procedure of the Zoning Board of Appeals adopted on January 22nd, 2024. And I'd like to have a motion or approve the previous meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
By Kelly, and then second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. To attest to the public legal notice, the following legal notice for tonight's agenda, ZB 1201-2024, was published in Daily Messenger on Friday, January 17th. Okay, with that said, I'd like to open the public hearing for ZB 1201-2024. The Cheryl Power, 153 Church Avenue, Farmington, New York, 14425. The applicant is requesting an area variance to allow for the replacement of an existing freestanding manual changeable copy sign, an accessory structure with a freestanding electronic changeable copy sign to only advertise the church services and its preschool services. The proposed accessory structure will be placed on the same portion of the property at 153 Church Avenue as the existing manual changeable copy sign is located. The Town Code, Chapter 165, Article 5, Section 45A, does not allow a changeable copy signs except for time and temperature changeable copy signs. Who is here to speak on behalf? Can you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, I am Cheryl Power. Pardon me?
No, you can come up
Oh,
to the
okay.
podium if you like.
Sure. I'm Cheryl Power. I live at 5771 Collett Road in Farmington. I am the preschool director at St. John's Christian Preschool. And we are supported and sponsored by St. John's Lutheran Church in Farmington at 153 Church Avenue. Mr. Robert Wiedmeyer is here and Doug Templeton is here. Doug is from Hamlin Architects. He helped guide me through this process and updated our existing site plan. We also have many members of our congregation here as support tonight. We are here to request approval of this new electronic sign for St. John's Lutheran Church at preschool. The existing sign is not functional with limited visibility. When trying to nail down an installation date on that sign, we were not able to do so. It's that old. The reason we chose an electronic sign was because of the many activities that St. John's provides and support in our community, and feel that this sign will effectively inform the community of these activities while providing weekly services twice a week and Sunday school We are also a preschool which provides Christian early education to 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. These students come from Farmington and many of their surrounding towns and have many activities throughout the year. We have an open house for registrations in the fall, special services for preschool, special holiday activities, and closing ceremonies. We would like to be able to utilize this sign for such things. Also, St. John's is a polling place. We sponsor Troop and Pack 50. We have an active food cupboard. St. John's Lutheran Church hosts many community activities, craft festivals, dinners, youth Sunday school activities, trunk or treat, and many special holiday services and activities. Also, I personally spoke with many of the neighbors in the area that are directly impacted by the new sign, one of which is here tonight. Thank you, Tammy. And I showed them the plan and they had no objections. I'd like to thank the board for considering this project and thank you so much.
So staff comments.
You have the resolution in front of me. I have no additional comments.
Okay.
So on the research for this, there has been a few digital signs approved by the zoning board with similar conditions. We do have one church that you guys approved as well, which the conditions are identical to the approval for that church that has been drafted for tonight. With digital signs, they are only allowed for what you guys have approved in the past to display one message or 24-hour period. They're not allowed to have scrolling messages or changing messages or flashing different displays. But they are allowed, with you guys' approval, to be a digital sign that can, when, I think how it's worded is when they're open, which is harder for a church because they don't have regular business hours, but that's when we default back to the 24-hour rule of every 24 hours, the sign can be. But during that period, it shouldn't change except for time and temperature.
Okay. Right. Public comments?
Me?
Sure, go right ahead. You can just your name. and
I'm
address.
Tammy Figler and I live at 150 Church Avenue, right across the street. I wrote this down so I wouldn't ramble. I live directly across the street. I look out my front window and the cross is right there. And I've done so for the entirety of my life with the exception of a few handful of years. St. John's is a pillar in our community and has been for as long as I can remember. My grandparents were members of this church as well as now my aunts and uncles. I am not a member of that church. A sign in their yard directing people to them and what they do should be a no-brainer. My parents live in the corner of Ellen Pageant Road and Church Avenue. And I can speak for them as they are not in any way able to be here this night. They are not objectionable to this either. As far as I'm concerned, this should be a unanimous vote of approval by the board, given that what St. John's represents in our community, how long it's been there, and who they ultimately represent, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And it would be a shame if anyone thinks that the bureaucracy of the town of Farmington is more important than that. Thank you.
Anybody else? From the room, do we have anyone online?
1 minute.
There's no one online, right, Carl? No? Okay. With no one public comments, board member comments?
I don't have any comments tonight. This is straightforward.
With that said, yes, Dan.
Just to confirm, the resolution that you're looking at has 8 conditions. Okay,
That's a-
just wanted to make sure that you had the most recent one. There was a version that was sent out with 7 that was recalled and
7 printed out, but
I have 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be reading, so-
You have the one I just gave you, yeah.
so it would be the one with the 8 conditions. Okay, I just want to make sure that you're voting on the right track.
Okay, with that said, and no other public comments, we will close the public hearing. Okay, we move on to deliberations and decisions. So I'd like to entertain a motion to waive the reading of the secret resolution and approve the resolution submitted by the town, as submitted by the town staff.
I'll motion.
Jody, second by Kelly, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just for the record, that was a type 2 here action.
I get a motion to waive the reading of the complete findings and decisions resolution, and read the determinations and conditions as submitted by the town staff.
I'll motion.
Jody,
I'll second.
Kelly, all in favor?
Aye.
That the zoning board of appeals, after reviewing the above 5 proofs, makes the following decisions. That the benefit to the applicant does outweigh any known detriment to the community or neighborhood. And therefore, the requested area variance to replace an existing freestanding manual changeable copy sign with a freestanding electronic changeable copy sign of the same size and in the same location on the St. John's Lutheran Church property at 153 Church Avenue is approved with the following conditions.
Do you have a copy of the resolution? Do you guys have a copy of it?
You guys, look,
I have it back.
Okay. So to make sure.
I'm gonna do that. That's how we do it.
Okay.
Okay, first condition, the proposed accessory structure shall be located within the same area of the site and in the location shown on the drawing prepared by Hanlon Architects entitled St. John's Lutheran Church Sign Alteration. Project 24-104, site layout sketch and sign plan detail dated 12/12/24. The sign shall be the size in accordance with the sign detail provided by Skylight Signs, Inc., dated 11/11/2024. And the proposed freestanding electronic changeable copy signs lighting intensity is to comply with the town's lighting standard contained in chapter 165 of the town code. And the proposed electronic changeable copy sign is to operate on a timer, and the sign is to remain off during dark nighttime periods when the church services are not operating, with the exception of special evening church-related events and religious holidays events. And the proposed freestanding electronic changeable copy sign is not to have any animated, flashing, or moving messages scrolled across the sign face. And there is to be a landscape area installed with a width of at least 2 feet in radius surrounding the base of the proposed freestanding sign on or before May 31st, 2025. Said landscaping is to be maintained by the church. And there shall be no light trespass from the proposed freestanding sign onto adjacent highways or neighboring properties. And any commercial speech signage intended to be displayed shall first be coordinated with the town code enforcement officer and shall comply with the sign standards contained in 165 of the town code. And all inspections shall be performed and accepted by the town code enforcement official prior to issuance of the certificate of compliance. You all understand that? Had the motion to read that the way it was submitted, so I will ask for a motion to accept this resolution.
I'll motion.
Second by
Second.
Kelly, roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Tom Bjork. Aye. Okay, you have your variance. Well, I'll stand around for the rest of the meeting. That's up to you guys.
So now that you have your variance, you can apply for your building permit and move forward with your project.
Thank you. Perfect.
Thanks, Dan.
Couldn't get it. Just like- Okay, thank you. Overboard matter. I should.
We have before us,
Before, it's very important to all of us. It really is important. And it's a struggle these days, so I get the members and keep their church running. And thank you, Will. I think my mother was in church. I should have said this before. Is this downtown? My bad. Oh, that's okay. My mother was in church all years. So we grew up, we go usually in the Presbyterian church. And I'll tell you, I know churches like all the rest of us. And I have never seen a pastor ever before or whatever stand up there, know everything he's talking about, give a sermon and never have a note. That's it. That's the truth. He knows so much.
Good night.
Thank you.
hey, other board matters. In front of us is to adopt for 2025, the planning board rules of procedure. They are pretty much the same as last year, they are the same.
There has been no changes by staff. Presented to you guys, so.
Do anyone up here have anything they'd like to change or alter? I personally do not.
I don't. No, we spent a lot of time last year making changes, so I think we're good this year.
And okay, so can I have a motion to accept the resolution for the rules of procedure?
I'll make an order, or I'll make a motion to accept the resolution for the 2025 rules of procedure.
Motion by Kelly.
I'll second.
Is that a roll call vote?
Probably.
So that,
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Okay, we've adopted.
We will get those updated and posted to the website saying that they're adopted, even though they're the same.
Yes,
We'll
yes.
put a new adoption date on that, so.
Thank you. Public just left, so I guess we have an open discussion. Dancing and you're subbing for Ron?
I'll let Paula go first if she does, if she has anything to, and then I'll go.
Zoning.
I don't have anything for comments. The only thing I would have is the next meeting.
Yeah, okay, so your next meeting, you will have a variance coming to you. It's for Victor Farmington Ambulance, for their station that's going to be down here on the corner of County Road 8 and 96. Has to do with the MTOD overlay district. MTOD actually comes all the way out to there, which says that they need to have sidewalks. They would like a variance from that. They're willing to talk about giving an easement to the town, so when development does come out this far, but at this point, they don't see a need to put in sidewalks, and they would like this board to consider that. So that's what will be coming to you at your next meeting.
More unusual than we typically.
Yeah, I mean, we don't usually see a lot of variances given to the MTOD. I will tell you that this has opened up town staff on the MTOD and the rulings on that. And we're looking at possibly a code change to allow this determination to the planning board, as allowing them, when they're reviewing the site plan, to say, nope, there's enough development here, the sidewalks need to go in, or would it be beneficial to have the easement and not put sidewalks in that are going to be difficult for the town to maintain? That's the other thing that you have to look at. If we put sidewalks in here, they're going to be dedicated, and we're going to have to plow and maintain a corner, which is not connected to anything else. And there's no, if there was, I guess, putting in the planning board's arena, they would have a better feel of what's coming. So if there was more development coming near it, they could say that it would make sense, so that it would be connected. So it's definitely something that's going to be under review. Unfortunately for the ambulance corps, They did not want to wait on their remodel and development there on that corner, so they decided to go the variance route.
Planning board won't be looking at it then.
It's in front of the planning board.
The
The,
site plan.
the site plan went to the planning board. They're referring it to you guys. Sort of the same thing that we did for Fowler. A site plan went in. It was viewed as needing a variance to be moved forward as submitted. So they are starting the seeker process. So you guys won't have to worry about seeker, but because the planning board would be, their planning board's looking to be lead agency on it. So with that being said, it's really just coming to you guys in February to be heard for the sidewalks. If you feel that the relief is justified or not, but there's a little bit more background because there is some town discussion on that.
Will we get that at all with the?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we will talk about that again. And I'm sure Ron's gonna jump in. Ron is our biggest component to the MTOD. I mean, he wrote most of that, so I think it will be good to hear from him during discussion about it, but you're probably going to see some sort of draft come out from us, knowing that we're looking at a code change. Probably in some,
You won't have to designate them in the lead agency.
no, planning board would be the lead agency.
Right, we don't have to.
So it will truly just be, there won't be any seeker in there. There'll be just,
Literally just the resolution.
yeah. And I mean, they're gonna come in that night, they're gonna make a presentation to you about what they're doing. They'll talk about their site plan a little bit, but then they're gonna focus highly on these sidewalks that,
Said it's the corner of 96 and Road 8. Okay.
Is it where the doctor's office?
Yep.
That's where it's
Yep.
gonna be, right?
so, Tom's very well aware of this, being his neighbor.
He'd probably have to excuse himself.
So he would have to at least make it known at that meeting, about his proximity to this project.
Okay, I had to do that with a
Right,
dock in my neighborhood.
Yep, I mean, if he wants to recuse himself, he could. If he does, again, that only leaves 3 board members, and you all would have to vote the same, or it's automatic denial. But if Tom makes it and he doesn't have a problem with it, and you guys don't have a problem with the information, he just has to make it public that where his business is and corresponds to this.
Okay.
What's interesting is his business is not in the MTOD, where this one would be on the other side of the road.
So does the MTOD end right there?
County Road 8, County Road 8, yeah.
That's where, okay.
Yep, so that's the, and Ron will talk more about this, but there's some sort of town law at the state level that those overlay districts have to line on a county road. So we could pick County Road 8 or 28. Well, obviously, we felt 28 was way too far out, so that's why they picked County Road 8. And now we're in a situation that where we're at is that's one of the requirements in the MTOD.
That's why there's variances.
That's right. So, and it has brought to light, like I said, to the staff, so we're looking at coaching. So,
Sounds good.
the other thing, and I'm surprised Paula didn't bring it up, is your numbers for the projects are changing. They will start, well, no, this one still is right. This one had the month project number, then the year. It's going to go to the year, month project number. So all your new ones coming in 25 will be ZBA 2025 dash whatever month it came into, and then the project number for that month. So,
You wrote out the whole year. That was the first time I've seen that. So it's just been 24 or something.
yeah, so it has to do with our computer system. We had to do the same thing with planning board too. You guys have any issues with us making that change? Okay. And then also something that we've been doing with the planning board for a while now is the shared file that Paula should have sent to you guys so that you can see these in real time.
Like that.
We're trying to,
Yeah, I like it. I wish it was one. Cause do you guys print these?
I don't, because I don't have a printer. So I just-
Okay, so
I just need that to read them through and go through them, so.
'Cause that's the only thing, is it took me forever to get everything printed, cause it's broken into so many different. But
Yeah, if
I like the file.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that.
So, again, we can, I don't know how we would fix that for you, Kelly, but there's things that we can look at, if you communicate to us how you would like to see it. I don't know if we could put it all as one file because of how our system breaks it apart. And again, anything you want printed, we're more than happy to print for you. So if you want all the stuff printed, we can print it and get it to you before the meeting if you would like.
No, the reason I print it is because when I can't do it at my desk, so I have to, when I'm on lunch, I'm printing it all and reviewing everything. So that's why I do paper, because I don't really need to.
But I mean, if you want a packet, we could always give you a packet and we could drop it off to you if you would like.
I manage.
Okay, so,
I print it out if it's more contentious, because then I wanna like really, you know, if
Yeah.
it's straightforward, I'm like, okay, it's fine.
I take notes on it, so that's why I.
again, anything that you want printed, just let us know. We'll print it.
That's good to know.
So,
Yeah.
we did that with the planning board. Like I said, I've been doing this now for a while with the planning board.
Right.
And sometimes, I mean, some of their projects are fairly large, so we still do give them hard copies of things. But then they have stuff like tonight where. And then they have one member that actually brings her laptop and she's looking at the stuff in real time. So, we're trying to get more digital, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
There might be more to come on that as we keep looking at software and trying to make it easier to be real time for not just the applicants to submit, but to get it to you guys as a board.
Yeah, I like that. Makes it easier to
Mhm.
review it.
So that's that. I'm not gonna go over any of the projects Ron normally talks about, like the TAP grant and all that. I'm just not up to speed as much as he is, so he will for sure give you a full update of that at your next meeting. And as Paula said, your next meeting is February 24th.
Right, I have in front of me. I thought this was the
This
dates.
is not the
Yeah,
meeting.
that's- never mind, carry on. The
I
dates
noticed
for
that.
2025's meetings. Because we had to. Look at first and then we'll approve their
Yep.
projection, but I don't have that.
Yep.
So I thought it was, but
Oh, yeah, we did, you should have approved your dates in December. Yeah, it's for
I
this.
just thought it was just triggered me. Yeah, we didn't have.
We haven't had a meeting since October.
So yes, you need to approve your meeting dates.
We'll do that next month.
We'll have to add that to next month, yes. Sorry, all the boards approved them in December, and if you guys didn't meet, then that didn't work.
And at least this triggered me to ask the question, so.
Yeah, so we will make sure that that's in the shared file for you to review, and then we'll have it as other board discussions for your February meeting. Even though, you've already done 2 of the meetings for the year, but there is a couple of them that had to be moved, like normal ones, like, Memorial Day one had to be bumped up a week because of that holiday that falls on a Monday. I think everything else was pretty straightforward, right, Paula, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly?
I can get that out to you like probably tomorrow. I can add it to that shared drive.
But we'll put together a draft resolution as well, just so that you guys can officially approve it.
Do you guys have I guess I call it the cheat sheet, what Tom reads off of? Can that go on the shared drive too? Like how to run the meeting? So I can print out a copy of that. I know I had it at some point, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's in my email somewhere. But
It's from John. It's not like.
Yeah. That's an old one. But yeah, we'll find that document and
Okay.
get it up there.
that'd be helpful, because then we can help Tom out more.
Absolutely. Again, whatever you guys need, you just need to let us, you killed our mics.
I don't think if you guys had pictured you up here or not.
Yeah, so whatever you need, just let us know.
Okay.
And we'll provide it. Again, like I said, we're trying to go more digital, less paper. But if something's not working for you, you need to let us know that too. Especially since you guys only meet once a month. For me, I get more into the routine with the planning board. I'm working with them on a every other week basis, so I don't hear from you as much. I told Paula I wouldn't talk much tonight, so
You almost did good.
July.
Yeah, because I always reach out to you when something I need to know.
I'm sorry.
So like a meeting tonight is just pretty straightforward, but generally speaking, I always reach out before every meeting and talk to at least Dan and Ron if I need to, so.
Right.
So with Paula's schedule, just so you guys are aware, she's not in the office on Fridays, so we're gonna try to get those all, she is in the office all day Thursday, so we're gonna try the Thursday before your Monday meeting to have all the resolutions and everything out to you. It used to be our policy to have it out that Friday. We're just gonna move it up a day, just so you're aware.
I don't mind the extra day if I see something,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to catch up on Monday and have the weekend.
Yeah, so I like the link, so you can start looking at everything and getting your head wrapped around it,
So-
especially if it's not.
That's the other thing. I mean, we're gonna start putting things in there already for your next meeting. So even though we're not sending those resolutions out to that Thursday before, the site plan is gonna be uploaded as soon as we get it. The application will be there as soon as we get it, so that you guys can see all that way in advance. And I will try to have Paula send out just a reminder email to you guys that when she uploads something, just as a heads up.
A lot to do, Paula.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Maybe like once you have a couple documents, if there's some.
Right, I mean,
you can look
something,
at, yeah, then you can send stuff.
That's fine. I was gonna say, is my face saying something?
Oh, yes.
so, but we'll-
As far as our open position here,
yes,
is that advertised somewhere? I mean,
not really.
how do you guys go about filling that? I mean, I know how I got bamboozled into it, so, but,
We'll call for Ben.
yeah.
But you know how,
With an offer you couldn't refuse?
I don't know, you know how mine was basically finger
There
licks.
you go.
I'm talking to Pete Inglesby, not knowing it was the town supervisor, it's the first time I met him, we get him, struck up a conversation.
Yeah,
Next thing you know, say, you know, by the way, Tom, you sounded like you were interested. in
yeah,
this."
they get you.
So,
Peter did.
so it is the town supervisor, and it goes, a lot of times we have a list of people that he's talked to or has seen at events and that have shown some sort of interest, or they're coming off of another, like a committee to move to a board. So like our conservation committee or,
I don't know how I fell into the mix. I'm just saying. They
So-
saw me at the bank and a big sucker.
but no, so I do know that they've reached out to a couple people.
Okay.
But if there's anybody that you know that's interested, because I don't know how well they have panned out, so
I was just curious.
also,
Somebody, she works in planning, she works at Stantec. I've talked to her before about, I can always send her an email. I don't know if she's
Absolutely.
interested. She might be too busy with work, but I can ask her.
yeah, that work thing sometimes gets in the way, but
Consultants travel a lot, so.
Surprisingly, even though we meet once a month, there's something to it. Sometimes you get so
Absolutely.
assumed in what you're doing, it does make a difference.
yeah. So, and we are still looking for a clerk of the board. I know that this has been a trend for like years for this board for some odd reason.
Again, is it advertised though? Like if you go on Farmington's site for like employment?
We put it up every so often and then we take it back down.
I did see a Facebook posting with it.
Yeah, that's what I usually have Marcy or the supervisor put it on their Facebook saying, hey, we're still looking for blah, blah, blah. We're not as advanced as like the town of Victor that sends out their postings on a regular basis, but I mean, Carol has been gracious enough to cover the last couple meetings for you guys, but
So you know, welcome, it usually it's about 2 or 3 years.
You are the quick report, whether you want to be or not.
And I'll use you like we did with Sarah, it's the most valuable person on the board.
there you go.
Show how appreciative we are of
Yes.
what you do for us.
It's one of those that when we have people that are willing to cover, we don't seem to advertise that well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But thank you. Okay. All right. We're good. So we have our meeting next February 24th. I guess, motion by Jody and a second by Kelly to adjourn. All in favor?
Good.
Yeah.
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
Me too.